Hey folks, I'm Nicole Gilbert and this is the Nicole Gilbert Quilts YouTube channel. Today on Recent Makes, I am sharing with you this gorgeous quilt that's on the wall behind me. The pattern for this quilt is called Ophelia, and the designer of the quilt pattern is Pieced Just So. And I have a link to the website, Pieced Just So's website, where you can find further details about the pattern. But I actually made this pattern, this quilt, on September 17th, which many of you know was National Sew a Jelly Roll Day. And this quilt was perfect to work on that day because it is a jelly roll friendly quilt. And so I used a jelly roll of Maywood Fabrics Gelato Ombre, which is out. I got these like delicious, yummy colors, and I wish that you could see all of it. The quilt is actually, it's just touches the floor and then almost to the ceiling. So it's like a 8-foot quilt, almost 7-foot quilt tall. So it's a really generous lap throw blanket. I can't wait to see, I said blanket. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see it on my couch because I think it's going to be a lot of fun and just like a jazzy little pop of color, especially because my living room is like cream on white on cream. And so this will be so much fun to throw in there. Now, this fabric is gorgeous. So if you haven't had a chance to go check out the Maywood Studios Ombre Gelatos or Gelato Ombres, really go check them because they're so rich in color and so punchy. And the ombre, not everyone, they all have different levels of drama, which is a lot of fun. So you've got some that are pretty gentle as far as like purple down to a pink. Like this is kind of like a gentle ombre, and that's like the whole spectrum that you'll see on this. But then there's some that are like yellow, like super light yellow to the darkest purple, and like yellow to super magenta-y. And there's like purples to blues, but then there's soft ones too, like this teal that's just going from, a really pale teal to this really dark one. So there's all sorts of different fades, which is really great because I had so much fun aligning this quilt. I really wanted it to have like a true through the rainbow fade through. And so having both the gentle fade of things like this where they kind of stayed in the same color family, like this, the purple or the teal, which I'm pointing at and you probably can't see because this thing is huge, but like this green where it's kind of gentle but it's staying in the same family. And then you also had ones like this, which went from yellows to purples, which is two totally, these are opposite on the color wheel, totally opposite ends of the spectrum. But what that allowed me to do was to really align this ombre so that I can do like the Roy G. Biv of it all and have really great coloration. So it was a lot of fun. As far as the tonal that I use for the background, I wish I could tell you the name of this fabric, but I am a huge fan of tone on tone whites. I very rarely, almost never use a plain white fabric. And so what I do is I usually just go ahead and buy a bolt of tonals. And so I genuinely don't know the name of this white fabric that I've used, but it has a very fine, like leafy vine on it is what the pattern is. But I just genuinely, I feel like, especially with how much negative space most quilt patterns are coming with these days, if a lot of them are coming with a lot of this negative space, and it just feels like a waste to just put plain white fabric. So I use this tonal. But there you have it. It's a jelly roll friendly quilt. Again, it is named Ophelia, and it was designed by Piece Just So, and the link to that is in the video description below. I had a blast making this for National Sew a Jelly Roll Day, and also it went together in like 2 days. So super fast make, which was also a lot of fun. It was fast to cut, fast to piece, which is awesome. Oh, side note, one more thing. You'll notice it's actually pieced, it's set on point. So our blocks are these guys here, and then they're sashed. But instead of, which is something that I do it all the time because some patterns just require it, and I'm not one to shy away from a technique, but a lot of patterns that are set on point have setting triangles, which I'm not like super jazzed about because then they're cut on the bias and you're cutting triangles, and I am not trying to cut a triangle if I don't have to. But this one was awesome because it's like over pieced. So meaning that this was actually a full block and then you just trim. And at first I was a little bummed because I was like, oh my gosh, look at all that beautiful fabric that I'm trimming off. But, hello, I am now making a quilt out of it, which is just super fun, of all of those scraps. So, how awesome is that? So, there you have it, guys. This is the Ophelia quilt designed by Piece Just So. And if you decide to make one of your own, I would love to see it. So go ahead and tag me on Instagram or Facebook at Nicole Gilbert Quilts. Have a good day. Happy sewing.